Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about the things we love like gaming, shows, and anime. It's been a long while since I last made a who would win match of Dragon Ball Z characters, and honestly those have been the biggest time consuming videos I've ever worked on before. They take a lot of analysis and so much research to ensure a very close, accurate win. Now this doesn't mean the fight is correct, it just means that I did my homework and these are the results of how I believe things would turn out. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Javion JV1224, hope I'm saying this correct, Renee Howard, Lue Hamuchi, again, sorry that I'm butchering these names, Askuleaf 541256L, and Luis Cruz. I know I didn't butcher that one. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, my fellow Scorpions. Now, let's get started. Now in the beginning, when I first started off with the Who Would Win series, the first fight I made was Frieza vs. Cooler. And the way I introduced the fight was by explaining how things could begin and how each action could play out. Note that this is very similar to how I make every other Who Would Win match, but the difference here is that with the rest, every other match is explained in a precise detail with each move being counted. But if you saw the first Who Would Win match, then you will notice that it isn't the same as the rest. Now with this match, I will be going back to that element because we have one character who we haven't seen fight once at all, and that is Tarble. So if you don't know who Tarble is, he is Vegeta's younger brother who appeared in the anniversary special known as Hey, Goku and His Friends Return. Tarble was being chased around by two powerful warriors known as Abo and Kato. Once Tarble made it to Earth, he was able to get help from the Earth warriors, but mainly the fighters who dealt with Abo and Kato were Goten and Trunks. Abo and Kato were said to have about the same power level as the Ginyu Force, but then over time they became as strong as Frieza. Now, when this was said, Abo and Kato had not revealed that they could fuse together to become even more powerful than Frieza from Namek. So if Tarble said that he tried to deal with them and he couldn't, then the fact that he tried and lived to fight another day must mean that he is clearly a lot stronger than Raditz. And how strong was Raditz? Well, let's just say that if we put Raditz up against a Cyberman, he might lose the fight. So with that said, Tarble could win the fight. Sucks that we never got to see the true potential of Tarble. But then again, I could say the same thing for Raditz, if he had only joined Goku like Vegeta did eventually. Tarble may not have fought and also seemed to be a bit of a weakling as he was having to escape from the two foes that were after him, but there is still a few notes to point out that make him the loser of the fight. Tarble did not seem to be a warrior or strong at all. He looks very young, and the confusing part is that he is already married, so one could say that he's a lover, not a fighter. If that's so, then he would definitely lose the fight against Raditz. Even if an opponent is stronger, that doesn't mean that the stronger fighter automatically wins the fight. There is strategy that must be involved to win. More brains can always overcome the bronze, as we've seen many movie villains lose the fight in the end because their ego overthrows their victory. So one could say that even if Raditz's power level is not even close to Tarble's power level, Tarble still needs to know how to fight to even defeat Raditz. And we do know that Raditz can fight as he easily took on both Goku and Piccolo, the Earth's strongest warriors at that time, at the same time. But can Tarble do that as well? Picture him taking on Goku and Piccolo from the time that Raditz appeared, and can you honestly see Tarble putting up a fight against Goku and Piccolo? I don't know about you guys, but I find it hard to believe that he could even keep up with either of them, let alone an Earthling warrior such as Krillin, Yamcha, or Tien. Tarble could have a high power level as a kid just like Vegeta did as a kid, but unlike Vegeta, he might not have trained hard growing up. Vegeta always wanted power, so he trained every day, growing up sparring with Cybermen and fighting other alien life forms in many planets. Vegeta was ruthless and never stopped training all his life, even as a kid. But as we saw Tarble, he appears to be very young and already has a wife. So this could mean that he does not dedicate his life to training, but instead towards living in peace. So with that said, I can honestly say that if Raditz were to fight against Tarble, in my opinion, I still think Tarble would win the fight. And why? As soon as Tarble landed on Earth, the Z Warriors were able to sense a high power level, and even Android 18 said that she could sense a high power level. I highly doubt that they would react this way if Tarble's power level were to be close to the same as Raditz's power level. They wouldn't even have made it to seem like it was a big deal. Sure, Vegeta mentions that their father sent him to a distant planet for being weak, but that was so many years ago, back when Vegeta was still a kid. And if Tarble has been around for so long after the destruction of planet Vegeta, then surely he has gained plenty of Zenkai boosts over the years. Also, I'm sure that if he was away for so long and knew why he was sent away because of the lack of his strength, then I'm sure that he had trained hard enough to make his father proud. Raditz could have been a better fighter, and sure, strength doesn't mean that it guarantees the outcome, but it sure as hell does when the fighter's power level is beyond 20 times stronger than his opponent's level. So the winner would be Tarble. Agree with the outcome? Let me know in the comments as to why you agree or disagree. Because as for now, that's it for the Who Would Win match. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, put a thumbs up. And if there are any other videos you would love to request, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you want a shout out, a video request, or you want to ask me a question for the next Q&A video, I strongly recommend you post that on my Facebook page. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because it really helps me out a lot. And I'll be sure to let you know when I post up more videos. This is Score saying have an awesome day.